Why do we feel so trapped by other people's opinions? Why do we, deep down, feel like we're not good enough no matter how hard we try? If you've ever felt this way, adrift in a sea of insecurity, endlessly seeking acceptance and approval from outside, know that you're not alone. The truth is that society has taught us lessons that imprison us, that distance us from ourselves. We've been conditioned to seek happiness in things we can't control. But what if I told you that the secret to peace and self-confidence isn't in following these lessons, but in ignoring them? In this text, I will guide you on a path of detachment from social constraints and reconnection with your true inner strength, inspired by principles that, over 2,000 years ago, already liberated the human mind. What you will read here is not just a text, but an invitation to a journey of action and transformation. Prepare to deconstruct your beliefs about yourself, others, and life. And, in the end, you will hold in your hands the map to a lighter life with greater presence and resilience, self-esteem and respect. Life is too short to cling to external contempt, isn't it? You know that person who seems to purposefully belittle you, who lives with an air of disdain. There comes a time when you need to understand that their opinion says more about their own insecurity than about your worth. Stoic philosophy teaches us that we don't control what others do, but we do control how we react to it. Your power of action lies precisely in turning your back on those who don't value you, in practicing this detachment from negative energy. After all, wasting time and sanity on those who mistreat you is the same as throwing away your most precious asset, your inner peace. True self-confidence arises when we put ourselves first, unafraid to be who we are. Can be difficult, I know. No one likes feeling rejected or having their efforts ignored. But the key is to transform this pain into strength. Every time someone treats you with disdain, see it as a clear sign that you're on the right path to your purpose. Think about it. If you weren't shining, you wouldn't bother them, right? Instead of comparing yourself to others' success on social media or in real life, focus on being the best version of yourself. Your journey is unique and incomparable. Accepting who you are with all your strengths and weaknesses is the starting point for resilience. Speaking of comparing ourselves, this is one of the biggest traps our insecurity sets for us. Looking around and thinking, wow, so-and-so has traveled the world, and here I am, or so-and-so has a much better job than me. We forget that the grass is greener on the other side, but only because we don't water our own. Your focus should be on yourself, on your growth, and not on what others are doing. Mental presence on your own path is an act of self-care and an investment in your self-confidence. So, my advice is, stop giving the stage to those who don't deserve it, and start giving yourself the value you so desperately seek in others. It's an ongoing process, a matter of action, daily, made of small choices. How about starting with a simple exercise? The next time a thought of comparison arises, stop, take a deep breath, and remember everything you've already achieved. Accepting that you are your greatest project is the first step to a lighter, more meaningful life. Remember, letting go of energies and people who don't add to you is an act of self-love. Personal development and continuous learning. The journey of personal growth is a never-ending road, and we need to get used to the idea that learning is a constant process. Many of us, out of insecurity, end up avoiding new situations for fear of making mistakes, of failing. We close ourselves off, and as a result, we end up missing the opportunity to learn and evolve. The Stoics' great insight is to see every experience, even the bad ones, as a golden opportunity. Mistakes aren't failures. They're lessons in disguise. They give you the chance to practice resilience, to get up, dust yourself off, and move forward with greater wisdom. Having this mindset is an act of pure self-confidence, because you understand that you don't have to be perfect to be valuable. If we stop and think about it, life's most important lessons rarely come in moments of comfort. It's in difficulty that we discover our true strength, our purpose. As the philosopher Seneca said, success is pleasant, but adversity strengthens us. When you adopt this perspective, detachment from immediate results becomes easier, and accepting that life is full of ups and downs becomes natural. Instead of running away from discomfort, we learn to embrace it. This act of facing challenges with courage is what builds strong character and we begin to feel more secure, regardless of what the world throws at us. Continuous learning isn't limited to books and courses. It's everywhere. Remember that conversation with a stranger that makes you see the world differently? Or that problem at work that forces you to think outside the box? All of these are raw materials for your growth, and disregarding the monotonous routine and seeking new experiences fuel your evolution. A great way to start is with reading. If you're looking to strengthen your mind, start with something like The Obstacle is the Way by Ryan Holiday. It's a book that teaches you how to use adversity to your advantage, showing how great leaders and thinkers turned their difficulties into triumphs. Your presence and acceptance in the present moment, absorbing every bit of the experience, is what transforms learning into something real and tangible. Instead of getting stuck in the insecurity of not being good enough, shift your focus. Look at your journey as a logbook, where each page turned represents a new lesson. Self-care here isn't just about caring for your body, but also your mind, nourishing it with knowledge and challenges that help it grow. This is an action you can start today, no excuses. And believe me, this mindset of constant learning and resilience is what will take you to the next level. Life is a school, and the best student is the one who isn't afraid to make mistakes. Relationship and emotion management. Knowing who we associate with is one of the keys to peace of mind. We can't be naive and think that everyone who enters our lives will stay. People change, paths diverge, and detachment becomes necessary. It's crucial to be selective about who we allow to influence us. Sometimes, insecurity makes us keep people close for fear of loneliness, even knowing the relationship isn't good for us. But disregard for our own sanity is the price we pay for this lack of acceptance of reality. Your self-confidence is strengthened when you surround yourself with people who inspire you, who support you, and who share your purpose. People who bring peace instead of storms. And speaking of storms, we need to learn to manage our own emotions. Anger, for example, is a poison. It makes us make decisions we later regret, acting impulsively and without considering the consequences. Stoic philosophy teaches us to observe our emotions without being dominated by them. It's like a surfer on a wave. They don't fight it, but use it to move. It's the same with anger. You feel it, but don't let it control your actions. This emotional resilience is a muscle that strengthens with practice. Every time you take a deep breath instead of exploding, you are investing in your well-being. It's not about repressing what you feel, but about being present and aware that the emotion is fleeting. What remains is your reaction. Letting go of the need to be right all the time or to respond to every provocation is an act of maturity. Think about it. Your peace is worth more than any petty argument. A great exercise to start with is a gratitude journal, but with a small twist. Instead of just listing the good things, also write down the situations that angered you and how you reacted. This brings incredible clarity and helps you identify patterns and find ways to practice better self-care in times of stress. We don't have control over what others do, but we do have complete control over how we react. Accepting that relationships are complex and that people will disappoint us from time to time is a step toward maturity. Being aware of this isn't being skeptical. It's being realistic. And this reality, however harsh it may be, is what gives you the freedom to choose who deserves your presence. Instead of focusing on the insecurity that emotional dependence can bring, shift your focus to your independence. It's a process of action, constant but worth every effort. Your peace is your greatest treasure, individual action and responsibility. We live in a world full of plans, brilliant ideas, and projects that never come to fruition. And the truth is that the difference between those who achieve their goals and those who only dream about them is action. It's easy to get stuck in insecurity and fear of failure, but we need to understand that progress only happens when we take action. Your life today is a direct reflection of your choices and your mindset. Disregarding inertia and procrastination is the first step to taking control. Your reality isn't a matter of chance, and the good news is that the power to transform it is, and always has been, in your hands. Self-confidence is built with every step you take, no matter how small. Taking responsibility for your life is an act of courage. It means stopping blaming others, circumstances, and fate, It's accepting that you are the captain of your own ship. Stoic philosophy reminds us that we can't control the wind, but we can adjust the sails. Resilience comes precisely from this ability to adapt and continue in action even when things don't go as planned. Having a clear purpose helps provide direction, but it's action that gets you there. You know that plan to start reading a book a month? Or to learn a new skill? Action is simply starting with the first page, with the first lesson, without thinking about how far you still have to go. And speaking of action, it doesn't have to be gigantic. Often, insecurity paralyzes us because we think we need to do something monumental. But the big secret lies in small daily actions. How about starting an action journal? Write down 3 small things you'll do each day to get closer to your goals. It could be something simple like, I'm going to research the course I want to take for 15 minutes. Or, I'll tidy up my desk so I'll be more focused tomorrow. These small actions add up and build unstoppable momentum. They're an act of self-care and acceptance that perfection doesn't exist, but progress does. Detachment from the perfect result and focus on the task at hand are what truly matter. We live in a society that values results but forgets the process. The process, the action itself, is what teaches you, strengthens you, and transforms you. Remember, your mindset is your greatest asset. Change the way you think about what's possible, and your life will change as a result. Action is the bridge between your dream and your reality. And the best time to start is now, no excuses. Enjoying the present moment. We spend our lives rushing, with our heads focused on the future or dwelling on the past. And in this rush, we end up ignoring the only thing that truly exists, the present. Insecurity makes us live for an uncertain tomorrow, worrying about problems that may never even happen. And we forget that life happens here, in this very moment. Disregarding the present is the greatest trap we can fall into, as it is the only place where happiness and serenity can truly be found. Mental presence is an act of acceptance and a fundamental step toward cultivating peace. Instead of getting lost in thought, how about stopping and simply feeling the air you breathe? Life is much simpler than we make it seem. The past is a teacher, not a prison. We learn from it, but we can't let it define our present. And the future, well, it's just a consequence of the actions we take today. Stoic philosophy teaches us that our energy should be invested in what we can control. And what can we control? Our actions and our presence in the present. Resilience is strengthened when we focus on doing our best in the present moment, without worrying about the outcome. Letting go of the need to control the future is what gives you the freedom to live fully. To start practicing presence, you don't need anything fancy. Start with small things. How about the next time you drink coffee, savoring each sip, feeling the aroma and temperature? Or when you're talking to someone, turning off your phone and giving it your full attention. Self-care also manifests itself in this attention to life's small pleasures, which are often overlooked. Purpose isn't something found in the future. It manifests in every present action that brings you closer to who you want to be. True self-confidence doesn't come from having everything under control, but from knowing you can handle whatever life throws at you. And this is only possible if you're grounded in the present. By cultivating the acceptance that life is uncertain, you free yourself from insecurity and find genuine peace of mind. Your act of being present is the greatest gift you can give yourself. And believe me, happiness lies in the details, in the small joys we only notice when we stop rushing and start living. Health and well-being. We live in a society that values having, but often forgets being. And our greatest asset, without a doubt, is our health, both physical and mental. As cliché as it may sound, money can't buy the presence and vitality that a healthy body and a peaceful mind give you. Insecurity often leads us to neglect self-care, postpone going to the gym, or ignore the signals our bodies give us. But the truth is that disregarding our health is an act of detachment from our own future. Taking care of yourself today is a direct investment in your quality of life tomorrow. Mental discipline, so preached by Stoic philosophy, is as important as physical discipline. Taking a daily walk, meditating for 10 minutes, or simply sitting quietly to observe your thoughts are acts of acceptance and self-confidence. They show that you value yourself enough to dedicate time to yourself. And this mental resilience, the ability to resist negative thoughts, is what gives you the strength to face life's challenges without breaking. Your life purpose, however noble, can only be achieved if you have the energy and health to pursue it. Taking care of yourself isn't a luxury, it's a necessity. Think of it like maintaining your favorite car. You wouldn't wait for it to break down before taking it to the mechanic, right? It's the same with your health. It's the act of eating well, getting quality sleep, and exercising that gives you the resilience to face everyday life. It's an act of self-love and self-care. Letting go of the idea that you need to be constantly productive and accepting that breaks are necessary are crucial. It's during moments of rest that the mind and body regenerate. Your health is the foundation of everything, and prioritizing it is the greatest investment you can make. Your well-being is your biggest project, and the only one that truly matters. We've reached the end of our journey. I've invited you on a path of self-care and resilience, where self-confidence isn't a destination, but a daily process. We've seen that letting go of negative energy and accepting who we are the starting points for peace. We've discovered that insecurity can fuel continuous learning, and that action is the only bridge that connects our dreams to our reality. Now, the question remains, what will you do with all this? Presence and purpose aren't abstract concepts. They're choices you make every moment. Will you continue to compare yourself, worry about what you can't control, or will you take the first step toward change? Remember, other people's contempt only affects you if you give it permission. Your peace is your greatest treasure, and the responsibility to protect it is yours alone. Knowledge without action is useless. It's time to get down to work. What's the first thing you'll do to put yourself first? What's the first book you'll read? What's the first small action you'll take to honor your purpose? The answer to these questions is the beginning of your new life. And if you enjoyed this conversation, know that this journey is just beginning. Subscribe to the channel and turn on notifications to stay up to date with more content that will help you build a life with greater peace, resilience, and self-confidence.